The Avengers Doomsday trailer has arrived, and in typical Marvel fashion, it would appear that several characters have been digitally removed from this shot specifically. So I'm going to tell you which characters are missing, why they've been removed, and I'm going to show you some actual errors in the removal process that proves that this footage has been tampered with. Hey everyone, Colton here, and in Avengers Tower, we see the new Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Sam, Ant-Man, and Thor, but see this big ass gap here between the Fantastic Four? See this weird bit where the top of Johnny's head gets cut off? See this distorted wiggle of the whole floor when Thor moves his leg? Those are all signs of quick and dirty, unpolished, good enough for a trailer digital removal. So let's start with the most obvious one, the giant ass gap between the Fantastic Four. We know from this same trailer that Herbie is with the Fantastic Four when they travel to the MCU because he's with Reed here in the X-Mansion later in the trailer, so I doubt the Fantastic Four went back to their universe to grab him before then heading to the X-Men universe. Plus, there's no way that Sue and Reed left Franklin at home alone without even Herbie to babysit. Now, some will theorize that Franklin's absence from this shot to mean, oh no, Dr. Doom got Franklin, but no, Dr. Doom, Franklin, and Herbie are all three in this shot. Why were they removed? Well, I think to keep some mystery, right? Marvel doesn't want us to know yet that if the plot leaks are true, Doom and the Fantastic Four and the Avengers are all working together at this early point in the film. I think right now, Marvel still wants that mystery of Franklin being in danger, which was teased here in the first steps post-credit scene. They want to sell to audiences at this particular moment of the marketing campaign that Dr. Doom is Dr. Victor Von Bad Guy. So showing Doom standing alongside these heroes in a trailer that was designed to sell Doom as the villain, that wouldn't really work. And the point of this shot was to give the impression that all of these heroes have come together to not stop incursions, but to stop Dr. Doom, when in reality, this assembly of heroes is one to stop incursions. We can even see a display here featuring the three worlds that are colliding. And in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, which is actually a scene pulled directly from Doomsday, and is the scene that takes place right before this scene in the film itself, we hear Yelena mention the space crisis.
And now there's this huge space crisis and no one's telling us about it.
We're running out of space already? It's impossible. This building is enormous.
And guys, can I just say, talking about the trailer, I am so excited to take my nephew to see this movie. I'm of course really excited to take him to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. That'll be his first Spider-Man movie on the big screen. I got to take him to see his first Superman movie as well. He's wanting to go see Supergirl, but what I am really excited for is taking him to see his first Avengers movie on the big screen, Avengers Doomsday. And I am hoping that midway through, he doesn't ask me if I have any games on my phone. I mean, honestly, I've never been much of a mobile gamer because I just feel like I should be doing something else more productive. But recently, I have been checking out Free Cash. It's basically a platform where you can earn rewards by playing mobile games, completing surveys, or trying different offers. What I like about it is that it's free to sign up, there aren't any hidden fees, and once you reach the $25 minimum for your first cash out, you can withdraw through PayPal. That's the one I use, or you can just go for a bunch of different gift cards. And after that first withdrawal, there are no minimum cash out requirements. You can pull any amount anytime. Now, obviously, this isn't something that's going to replace your full-time job, but if you're already spending time gaming or doing things on your phone, and if you're like me, sometimes when you're doing that, you feel a little guilty, like you should be doing something productive, this is actually a solid little side hustle to check out. And then you can take those earnings and put them toward the old action figure fund or whatever you like to spend money on. Most users who use Free Cash report earning around $5 to $10 on their first day and around $30 to $100 a month. And the more active users can earn even more, but of course your results do depend on the offers available in your country and how much time you put in. Free Cash, it has over 60 million users, more than $250 million in payouts, and a 4.8 star Trustpilot rating from over 260,000 reviews. Just make sure that app tracking is enabled so that your offers can track correctly. And if you sign up using my link or scan the QR code on screen, you will get a $10 bonus after completing your first offer where eligible. Next, we have Shang Chi. Now, Shang Chi, he is all over this trailer. So if he is actually in this shot and was digitally removed, the question becomes, well, why? Why? We know that the new Avengers are beyond beefing with Sam Wilson over wanting to form his own Avengers, right? And I guess Sam's team currently consists of Joaquin Torres Falcon and Ant-Man. Now, we see Ant-Man in the shot, but where is Joaquin? I mean, we see him a little later in the trailer here with Bucky and the Wakandans and Ghost and US Agent and Sue and Thing, but why isn't he in this shot? Well, he kind of is, but he's being blocked by a character that was digitally removed. Let me explain, and this will also explain Shang Chi's absence from the shot. I think that Steve Rogers is standing right here, and that they have removed him from the shot. And that would explain the weird floor wiggle by Thor's leg. And here in a second, I'll explain why they removed Steve, but first let me talk about that floor wiggle, right? When you have a moving shot, a camera like actually moving, and you have to go in and digitally paint out something or cut around something and have different layers of video to mask something out, you are going to run into keyframing issues where sometimes if something is even just a little off, you're going to see a little wiggle or a stretch, and that's what we're seeing happening right there. So in this particular shot, if I'm right and Steve is standing there, he would be blocking our view of this part of the screen, which is where I think Joaquin and Shang Chi are standing. Therefore, in this shot, they were not actually captured in camera, or at least they were being very much obscured by Steve, kind of like how Bucky is being obscured by Ghost. So when they remove Steve, they just have to put in empty room space instead of trying to digitally impose the rest of Joaquin and Shang-Chi's bodies into the shot. It's just easier to fill that void with more empty room. So I do think that Joaquin is definitely there with Sam, and Shang-Chi is probably there too, and he and Ant-Man have also been recruited to Sam's Avengers lineup. Now, you may be asking, well, why the hell are they removing Steve Rogers from this shot anyway? He's in the trailer at the end. Well, that's your answer. He's in the trailer at the end. They wanted to save that Steve reveal for the very end when he comes face to face with Thor. So they didn't want to have him in this wide shot with all of the Avengers earlier in the trailer. But if you look here, when the Fantastic Four are stepping off the ship with Thor behind them, and then they cut to this shot of Sam, Bucky, and Ant-Man all watching on, you can see this silhouette of a head and longer hair that is totally Steve Rogers stepping off that ship, plus the look on these three's faces give it away as well. Bucky looks shocked, Scott looks in awe, and Sam looks like, oh yeah, Steve's about to come in here and set y'all straight on who the leader of the Avengers is. And I hope that Steve actually kind of like sits Sam and Yelena down, Bucky too, and is like, look guys, Tony and I butted heads plenty, and because of that, we lost to Thanos. And it wasn't until we put those differences aside and worked together as one Avengers that we were able to win. So you're gonna have to do that too. And then Thor can be like, yeah, besides clearly, I'm the leader of the Avengers. All right, guys, so those are the characters that I think were removed from this shot. And as for this shadow I've seen some talking about, that is Bob's shadow. All right, if you're new here, I'm Colton Ogburn. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'll see you next time. Bye!